The whole point of this is accountability, so I must be honest. I've procrastinated the whole day, done virtually nothing. Um, Now the reasons are mostly that I have a large debugging job, which I know is gonna take a long time in multiple places for very little return on it, and by itself it's just a sacrifice of time for the end result, and it doesn't translate to learning an new degree, so I would never procrastinate on something that would be an immediate learning experience. But that is just a sacrifice for the craft because it is not applicable in anything but a very niche thing I'm working on at the moment. And this is the same with debugging anything. This is only useful for programmers, and it does not translate to larger picture. Like when I'm creating a systems, it's about thinking, about structuring it. It changes my brain to allow me to think more structurally, and this is applicable to virtually any endeavor. And this is not. This is a sacrifice of time for the end result. So it's problematic. I guess I could translate the frame to that it would bring me closer to other challenging things that would get me to learn, because otherwise I have to start like a new simpler project where I would learn but completely different things. So I guess I could reframe it as learning, which could make it simpler. Uh, Good to think about that. That actually could work. But I think the most important thing is to split the tasks down to uh, smaller parts, each of which is less than 90 minutes, and in a perfect world, much less than 90 minutes. So, if my understanding is correct, they should range from about 10 to 90 minutes as a perfect range, and be noted and then also crossed out for each one of them explicitly, because this allows for intrinsic reassurance of being on the right path. So, same as deer runs to water, deers can smell water like 2 kilometers away, and deer is dumb, right? It can't really like think through the whole day and figure out that at this point it will come for water or something. No, it just knows that it needs water at the moment. It smells the water. It takes some steps in this direction, and then the smell is stronger, and so that just triggers the reaction of I'm on the right track, and I'm on the right track direction. Floods dopamine, not floods, but just sprinkles dopamine into the system, and kind of pushes up the ceiling of effort, which is allocated for a given task. Um, so think of any task you're doing as just having some set ceiling of how much effort you're meant to spend on it. And then when you're doing it, the cortisol level increases, and when you hit certain level, you kind of hit just a break, and it takes additional energy to get back to it if it's really important. But it's just built-in mechanics for from longer time ago, ancient stuff, to just keep you from extending too much energy on something that's not sufficiently important. And then to balance that for things which are important but require large energy investment, the dopamine system in this particular case, again, oversimplifying, but kind of pushes the ceiling of allowed effort for a task up. Um, so in a popular literature, there are things like reinforcement with Kenji, like take a Kenji after a task, which is superfluous and actually unreasonable. That does not do anything good. And then if you take away the Kenji, you take away the motivation also. And the Kenji itself, you kind of anchor to the Kenji, not to the process. And this is not a glitch in general. But you have already mechanics for this, and just restating that you are on the right track is enough to trigger the dopamine release to move up this ceiling. So crossing out the task is such thing, and so the more tedious the task, I guess the more intermediate steps you need, um, especially if there are no set deadlines or supervision or whatever else, because for me, again, it's very difficult to set a deadline. I'm not sure how I should go about it. It's definitely something that I should invest more time in figuring out, but at the moment I don't have a good strategy in doing so. Neither do I have any kind of supervision, obviously, and so really the ensuring intrinsic motivations for every part of the action is the only way to go, because when the job is large and with very little payoff, um, it's just difficult to get around to do it. And I'm so far away from perfect. And any increase in efficiency is worth everything, because um, the path from the best version of myself to the absolute worst version of myself takes like 2 weeks. If I drop all the good habits, indulge in bad habits, I will go from the best version of myself to the worst in like 2 weeks. Uh, and I guess the reverse is also true. And so every single thing, every single tool that keeps me stay on the efficient side is extremely important, and in the end will save me a lot of productive time. Um, Anyways, absolutely pathetic day on my end, and there are some other things which I also not can, but will uh, try to implement, but these are not as direct as previously stated. So I will do all, but I think the most important leak which I had is too large size of tasks incomparable to their intrinsic reward. So I will be slicing them down to smaller 10 to 90 minutes tasks, listing them just in to-do list and manually crossing all of them out as they're done. That should give me immediate reinforcement for staying, for let them stay on the right track. Um, that's it.